Hello everyone, welcome to Screen Scream. I'm Viola. I have seen a lot of Japanese movies recently, so today's episode I want to talk about Japanese movies and Korean movies. In newly released section, there will be one Japanese movie and one Korean movie. And similarly, in Top 007, we will have one Japanese movie and one Korean movie. Are you ready? Let's listen to the first new movie we're going to talk about today. A girl named Anne. A drug-addicted girl from an abusive family finds hope through kind people, but her grim reality strikes back just as she sees a glimmer of light. The first new movie we're going to talk about today is a Japanese movie. I forget it's before which movie that I saw A Girl Named Anne's trailer, but I really want to watch it. It was nominated for the Best Leading Actress, the Best Supporting Actor, and the Best Screenplay for the 2025 Japanese Academy Awards. As we heard in the introduction, this drug-addicted girl was helped by some kind people. And the reason why she gets to meet these kind people is because one time when she's arrested for using drugs, she encounters a weird style police officer. With his help, Anne joins the rehabilitation organization held by this police officer, and she also meets the officer's good friend, a journalist here, because the journalist is covering a story about the organization. As I mentioned, the leading actress got nominated. Actually, she's one of the most talented young actresses in Japan right now. Besides what regular Japanese audience can see, she also tries music video and movies, especially movies that brought her to the Cannes Film Festival. You can tell that she has a great control and sensitivity over different types of performances. Actually, the story of A Girl Named Anne is based on the true story. It comes from a news story, a real news story, published in a newspaper in June 2020. The story is about a girl called Hana, actually. She tried very hard to conquer all the abuse and drug addiction from her childhood to fulfill her dream to become a nurse. And with her hard working, she had her own living place and she started to go to school. But her wonderful future was stopped by COVID, and she dropped out of school in 2020 and killed herself the same year. It's pretty sad, and I really hope the movie's not as sad as the real story, but hopeful. And if you're interested in knowing what happens in the story, I recommend you to watch A Girl Named Anne. Now, the next new movie we're going to talk about today is not as serious. It's sweet, maybe, I would say, but maybe it also can trigger some tears. It's a Korean movie. Let's listen to the introduction. You are the apple of my eye. Jinnu and his friends, who are each experiencing the peak of their puberty, have their own unique interests and causes of trouble. The one common interest among them is Sona, the model student who embodies both grace and beauty. To them, Sona looks like an attainable dream, even though she's in the same class. Despite their contrasting personalities and academic performances, Jinnu and Sona develop a close bond by showing interest in each other's different sides. Their relationship navigates through the lovey-dovey and bittersweet phases of high school and into the heart of their poignant youth. The second new movie we're going to talk about today is a Korean movie called You Are the Apple of My Eye. It's not only a catchy phrase, but you might find it familiar because it's actually an adaptation of a Taiwanese movie a few years ago. Well, it's actually not a few years ago. I think it was maybe 15 years ago. because everyone in my class was reading the book, the novel, when I was in high school. And I think it was either the last year in high school or first or second year in my college that the movie was released. And it was sold to a lot of places. So, You Are the Apple of My Eye is actually, well, the Taiwanese version is also called You Are the Apple of My Eye. I mean, the English title. But this is the Korean version. It was selected as one of the films at the 29th Busan International Film Festival. The leading actress is one of the members in Twice, the idol group. I'm pretty sure this is one of the biggest reasons that many people want to watch this movie. One of my friends actually said that he wants to watch this because he's a big fan of Twice. The actress is Da-hyun. Actually, this is Da-hyun's first time playing in a movie. She said that it's very stressful because this is her very first movie production. So she was very nervous, not so sure whether she can make it or not. But the director, her co-stars all helped her a lot. They gave her a lot of suggestions, and she thought that it's a very happy shooting site. When it comes to her impressive part of shooting this movie, she said that there's a scene in which Sona, her character, cried very hard because she didn't do well on a test. I guess that's when they took the entrance exam for college because we also have that similar scene in the Taiwanese version. She felt very comfortable and relaxed after shooting that scene because originally she thought it's very difficult to portray this character, but after that scene, she felt acting is very interesting. If you're a big fan of the Taiwanese version of You Are the Apple of My Eye, or you just enjoy high school romance, I recommend you to watch You Are the Apple of My Eye. Before we move on to Top 007 to talk more Japanese and Korean movies, let's review what we had from last week first. We had two top threes, Last Breath and Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind. Top 2 was Mickey 17, and Top 1, Captain America Brave New World. Let's listen to Top 7 to Top 4 and see which movie we're going to talk about. Top 4, Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind. The Monkey.
Everything okay up there?
Yeah, everything's fine.
Oh, that's odd. I don't remember locking this.
You wouldn't happen to remember if my aunt had a wind-up?
Wait, what? There are only 2 movies from top 7 to top 4 this week? So top 3 must be really crowded. But anyway, with only these 2 movies, you definitely know which one I'm going to talk about. It's Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind. If you're a big fan of Miyazaki Hayao, or you're a big fan of Ghibli, they used to mean the same thing, but not anymore now. You probably would already watch Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind. But the thing is, one of the publishers in Taiwan, they announced, I don't think they announced it, but basically they started to do this plan to re-release some of the Ghibli's classics once in a while, and it's Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind this month. They not only just re-released it, they also printed some beautiful posters. So people would go to the movie theaters just for the posters. And I think it differs depending on the week you go to the theater. So if you want to collect them all, you have to watch it once a week. Well, of course, that's a marketing method, but this movie is still very classic. It's one of the very earliest Ghibli works, and actually, It opened up the era, I would say, the era that the world can see Japanese animation. If you look at the artwork of Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind, I feel that, oh, this is from my parents' generation. Of course, when the movie was released, I wasn't even born, so you can tell it's very nostalgic. But the story itself is still meaningful if you watch it nowadays, and maybe even more meaningful. So if you're a big fan of Miyazaki Hayao or Ghibli, I highly recommend you to watch Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind. And now let's move on to the crowded top 3 to top 1. This movie technically is not a Korean one. I hope you already guessed which one we're going to talk about. But let's listen to the chart first. Top 3. Creation of the Gods 2, Demon Force.
必须拿到封神。
Last Breath.
The thrusters have gone offline.
How many?
All of them.
Top
Let me
2.
fix it.
Captain
Watch
America,
yourself.
Brave New World.
You're not Steve Rogers. You're right.
Flow. Top 1. Mickey 17.
Nothing was working out, and I wanted to get off of Earth.
Yes, it's super crowded indeed. After hearing all the movies on the chart, I guess you already know which one we're going to talk about. Mickey 17. Well, it's not technically a Korean movie, but it's directed by Korean director Bong Joon-ho. So I guess it still counts, at least compared to the other 4 movies. So far, the box office of Mickey 17 all over the world isn't generally good. I think one of the reasons is that some people may think, oh, it's a sci-fi, and they're interested in sci-fi, so they go watch it, but they're not so familiar with director Bong Joon-ho's style. And after watching it, they would say, what did I just watch? Because what director Bong did in Mickey 17 was that he used the sci-fi genre to mock the real world. You know, the production process of this movie was very special. It's based on a novel, but before the novel was published, the producers sent the novel to director Bong Joon-ho because they think this story is unique and weird at the same time, and if they're going to make it a movie, director Bong Joon-ho is the most suitable person to do it. Although director Bong Joon-ho likes sci-fi movies the most, he's not interested in laser beams or luxurious spaceships. He loves to use bold and unlimited methods to talk about the situations that human beings are in. Another reason that triggers people to watch Mickey 17 might be Robert Pattinson, and there's not only one, there are 2. This is also the reason why I went to watch Mickey 17. You know, the protagonist is Mickey, based on the novel. From the very beginning, the director wanted to find someone who's lovable, a little bit crazy, but at the same time can spread a silly vibe to portray the center character of this story. And if you are a big fan of Robert Pattinson like I am, you will know that he once told his manager that he only wants to act as weird characters because he thinks he's weird himself, be it look or personality. But his fans always think that, wait, do you have some misunderstanding about yourself? You're definitely good looking, and personality weird maybe, but it's just the reason why director Bong Joon-ho thinks he's the most suitable person for Mickey. During shooting, the most difficult part is to switch his performance between 2 Mickeys, Mickey 17 and Mickey 18. The crew specifically made Mickey 18's teeth a little bit untidy. So when he moves his mouth or when he speaks, it's a little bit different. I don't know if you noticed. I didn't, but I would say I did notice that they're different. I just don't know what's the difference. But I would say Mickey 18, who's tougher and maybe fiercer, is more like Edward Cullen, the most handsome character Robert Pattinson has ever played. So I would think Mickey 18 is more handsome. But the weaker 17 is not bad either. It just depends on whose characteristic is more lovable to you. This concludes our episode of Japanese and Korean movies. I hope you all like the movies I recommend today. Actually, some of the Japanese movies I saw recently will be released next week. So let's see if I can talk about them in the next episode. But remember to tune in same time next week here at Screen Scream. I'm Viola. See you next week.